Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jake Fryman. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Community Partners here in Dayton, Ohio. Each week, I provide some helpful hints about the real estate industries, give some insight into the market, and just some other advice, kind of giving a little bit more insight into what's going on in the real estate world and what it's like to be a realtor. So on this week's episode, and honestly for probably the next few weeks, I'm going to talk about some misconceptions in the real estate industry, some things that I see on social media that aren't true or kind of misconstrued, just so you guys have a better understanding of what our industry is like and what's true, what's not, and just to give you guys a little bit better advice about what you should do when you're ready to buy or sell. So on this week's episode, I want to talk about for sale by owners. They're getting popular right now with the market being so hot. You're seeing people just trying to list the home themselves. A big reason people do for sale by owner is because they think it'll save them money. Realtors, we do charge commission to list your home for you. And by doing that, something to consider with those commissions is that typically the buyer's agent gets 3% and the seller's agent gets 3%. But when it comes to those commissions, part of that goes to my brokerage. Any brokerage charges a fee. Part of that goes to taxes. And we also dip into that money for marketing purposes. We hire a professional photographer to take pictures of your house. I know I run Facebook ads. If I get a listing, I blast that thing all over Facebook and I pay to boost it so that people around here will see that, gets more eyes on the home, and gets it sold faster. And there's other marketing techniques that you can use as well that agents use their own money for from this eventual commission that they use to help get your home sold in a fast fashion for the highest dollar. So yes, you do pay for that money, but in exchange, you get a very professional service from your realtor that you cannot get on your own. When we list a home on the multiple listing service, that's our realtor website that only we have access to. It also gets blasted on all these other sites like Zillow, Realtor.com, HomeSnap. And then you get a ton more eyes on that because we're able to put that on all these sites immediately for you. Just something to consider that if you're doing it on your own, you have to pay for that yourself. You have to pay to advertise it online yourself. You have to go to Walmart, get the for sale by owner sign. And the other thing is you have to balance all of those people wanting to see the house. You have to field the calls, you have to schedule the times, and you probably have to deal with their agent as well. Most people going through this process of buying a home, they want an agent to help them along with the process. They want someone who has that professional training, that experience, who can help guide them through this process to get it done as quickly and easily as possible. They don't like to purchase on their own because it can be a very difficult, cumbersome process. Additionally, you would then be responsible for dealing with that agent, with their lender, with the title company, with inspections, negotiating any issues that arise. It seems simple. HGTV makes it seem like a very quick and easy process that anyone can do, but it takes a lot of work. There's a reason that so many agents burn out in this industry and do not last because it is not as easy as it is made to seem on TV or on social media. There's a lot to it. It's not the hardest job in the world. It's a fun job and there's a lot of great benefits to it, but it is work and it is difficult. And it's not a do-nothing job as most people, not most, but some people might perceive it to be. So it's a good reason to use an agent because they have that professionalism and experience to help guide you along in the process to get your home sold for top dollar. And then speaking of top dollar, I have seen this actually where a person sells the home themselves and they either way overvalue it because of sentiment. They made one upgrade to it and they think that it is worth way more than what the market says it is worth. Or on the opposite end, they undervalue it and they undersell it. I know an agent who he was representing buyers and the person selling it really undersold it, but they weren't represented by an agent and he wasn't representing them. So it wasn't his duty to tell them that he was underselling his home to these buyers. He was only representing the buyers in that case. So it's just something to think about that if you're trying to get top dollar for your home, it has been proven study after study through various national industries that if you use a realtor, you're generally going to get more for your home because they can market it better, they can price it better initially so that, if you have a home that stays on the market forever, people will be turned off by it eventually. They'll forget about it. They'll move on to a new home that pops up a couple days later. Especially in a market like this, they're going to be looking at the newest thing. And if it's on the market for too long, they'll say, well, what's wrong with it? Why has it been on the market for so long? Why isn't it moving? And then you don't want to have that misconception about your home thrown at you that there's something wrong with it and that's why it hasn't sold yet and that's why people won't buy it, or they'll try to offer you less for it since it's been on the market longer. The less time on the market, the higher dollar you'll probably get for it, and that's something that a realtor can help you do. So just a few things to keep in mind. If you hire a realtor, you get all their professionalism, all their experience. It's well worth it because in the end, it creates a lot less stress for you. You don't have to handle the showings. You don't have to handle any of the negotiations, any of those aspects. They just hand you the paperwork to sign. They ask you if it's okay, if it's not okay. It's a very smooth process. A month later, you're at the closing table. You get a lot more money than you've gotten if you were having to deal with this all on your own and deal with all that stress on your own. So please keep that in mind. If you're ready to list your home, please get a hold of me. And if you don't use me, please just use a different realtor. But I hope this was helpful. Always happy to talk. If you have any more questions about the stuff that we've covered here today or any other week, feel free to hit me up and be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of your week.